Welcome to the Horror Fiends. I am your certified horror dad, Kyle Beatty, and today we are talking about Halloween Horror Nights. For those of you that don't know what Halloween Horror Nights is, it is a Halloween event done by Universal Studios in Hollywood and also in Orlando. I am local to the Orlando area, so I have been going since Halloween Horror Nights 25, and this upcoming year it will be Halloween Horror Nights 32, so roughly 7 years? That took me too long to fucking say and calculate. But I did work at Halloween Horror Nights on their 30th anniversary. I was working as a scare actor back then, and I played a few different roles. I played in Haunting of Hill House, Crypt TV, Scary. But what Halloween Horror Nights likes to do is create a lot of speculation and wait to announce things to kind of generate hype for the event before it happens. Usually in September. This year it's going to be September 1st. So their Twitter is also very active around this time of the year because they start posting clues, things for you to decode. 2 years ago, for the anniversary, before they announced Jack the Clown returning, which is one of their icons of the events, they released a static live stream several times throughout a couple days, and so we kind of had to decipher it. Nothing really came of the deciphering. It was just a bunch of static, but they did announce Jack the Clown after that static live stream kind of ended. But now they have released something on YouTube as of last night, and I spent a lot of last night decoding it with my wife. And this one seems to have a little bit more than what their static did 2 years ago. So I want to dive into this video and see what you guys think in the comments. But I'm going to give my own opinion and decoding here from what me and my wife gathered. All right, so this is the video here. I got it pulled up, and let's just watch through it and let's see what you guys think, okay?
This week, we'll be talking about a conspiracy over 2 decades in the making. We'll uncover the truth about what's really going on at Halloween Horror Nights. The signs are everywhere, hiding in plain sight, if only you know where to look. How many times have you gone to that event and one of those so-called scaracters warned you to keep your friends close, to never ever look back? You probably laugh or scream and think it's all an act.
What I want to notice here, I'm going to be pausing this a few times throughout and give you what I'm thinking, but I want you to notice here, this side of the screen right here. Personally, I mean, it could be a curtain, but I feel like something is blurred out here. It seems like just from an editing standpoint, from just blurs that you can see throughout some editing, on some editing programs, it kind of just looks like a straight up cut of a blur on the side of the screen. Like they're blocking something out that's kind of revealing of something, because we have these here. I don't know what these are. Buttons, maybe. Honestly, they look like thermostats to me, if we're being honest. But obviously there's something here because the blur cuts into half of one and then completely covers the other one up here. So I don't know what they're blurring out, but what I also want to notice here is she's wearing a 25 shirt. Like I said earlier, we are on 32. This is going to be Horror Nights 32, and she's wearing 25, which is a year that Jack the Clown came back with the first appearance. I believe the first appearance, I might be wrong in that, of Chance, which is his little kind of like Harley Quinn in this universe. And also I want to notice that she says 2 decades in the making. She's talking about Halloween Horror Nights and how it is 2 decades in the making. But it's not. Like, it is 3 decades because we're on 32. That would be 3 decades. Which makes me think, I don't know, my wife brought this up, so this is her idea, but makes me think that this girl is from 25. Like, this is when 25 was happening, right? Like, this is... maybe like we're back in time. I don't know. I mean, I'm maybe reaching here, but it seems like she is back in 25. As far as I know, this podcaster is back on HHN 25. That's kind of what I've gathered here. Okay, so bear with me.
But what if it's not? Is it just fanciful roleplay, or something rooted in sinister origin? What really happens to those of us who ignore the signs and go alone? What if the legend of HHN is more than just a legend?
Alright, so here's when the static begins, and there's a lot that goes on here. But one thing I wanted to touch on, just to get these rumors out of the way, she says a lot about legends and a lot about the truth. I don't think this has anything to do with, if you're unfamiliar with Horror Nights, there was a house called Legendary Truth, following this whole character that of Boris Schuster, of a detective that investigates the event and things like that. Yeah, you kind of got to read a little more into the wiki to understand that a little more. But I do not think this has anything to do with that. Like, it just seems completely wrong when I'm watching the rest of this video and decoding and deciphering things I'm seeing in the static, that I don't see that having to do with Legendary Truth. And she's not Boris. She's a completely different person. She's some podcaster. I don't think it's that. Okay, let's just cross that out of the way before we keep going. All right, let's get into the static. I apologize for your eyes. There's a lot of static through a whole 10 minutes of this video, but let's just get through it and let's see what we can find. All right, so we're back to her, and then we're back to static. So she's obviously being lured in, possibly, or attacked by something. Something's creeping up on her. We don't know what that is. A lot of people were saying it's a Stranger Things announcement, like that she's about to be Vecna'd. I don't think that's true, because there's some bits later in the video that make it look like you could be Vecna, but honestly, I don't get that. I don't think this is honestly a house announcement. I don't think this is a zone announcement, and you'll see why I think that in a little bit here. Alright, so you see how things pop up throughout the static? You see that, right? Things do pop up throughout the static. But there's some specific points in the static that I want to touch on. And we will get into that. Alright, here we go. So, these are some runes, some letters. From what we've gathered here, I did a whole compiling of it on my notes here last night. A lot of different letters. Like, this is definitely a rune of some sort, it seems like. Then we have an A, K, H. I won't stop it at every single letter, but basically what I deciphered from what we gathered throughout the whole video of these little portions here, I had some extra letters left over afterwards, but one clear distinction I got from a good sum of those letters is just the words Jack is back. This has been said before in 30 and 25, Jack is back. This is why I'm saying this could maybe not be a house announcement. This could be an icon announcement. It would make sense. I mean, they did static last time and announced Jack, so maybe they're doing the same exact thing. Maybe Jack's back again and they're doing it through static like last time. But I don't think it's just Jack. If we are getting icons back, I feel like we're getting more than just Jack this time. Like, I've seen a few different things throughout this video that make me think there's more. Let's just jump forward here a little bit, because a lot of it is just plain static, but I want to cut forward to some bits here. Alright, you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Is this not a silhouette? Is this not a silhouette? Or is this not a close-up of a pale person or white makeup face? Right there. Right here. I don't know. Like I said, I could be just seeing things in the static here, though. Like, that's very possible. This is one thing I wanted to look at, because it seems like no one on Twitter is screen capping this part. Alright, so this is what I want to look at. Look at these designs here. Kind of look like some Victorian-esque you know, vine work, maybe some like doily or something. But I want you to look at this picture I'm gonna put on the screen. This is Fear's lantern. This is the icon of Horror Nights 20 that captured all the other icons inside this lantern. Look at the designs on the lantern here. And now look back at these little designs throughout the static. Could this be a clip from maybe inside Fear's lantern? Is that possible? This here looks like a silhouette of someone we are following walking through, possibly. Let's just keep going. And now this seems like the person's head is here. This looks like the entrance maybe to something. But this here, this kind of design does not leave the static throughout this whole part. And I've seen no one on Twitter talking about that. Like, it seems like not many people really skim through this section here. But this is clearly like the design of Fear's lantern in this background here, which makes me think even more of an icon announcement. Like, it's less of a house announcement and more of an icon, whether it's returning icons, new icons, something to do with Fear possibly, just from the designs of his lantern throughout this. Because what I'm thinking is this is an announcement video, right? And it's just completely cut and paused in points, and it's just still images and points of this video we're supposed to be getting eventually. And there's throwing static on top of it and distortion. So I feel like this is going to be a portion of the video of someone, maybe a guest or a victim, walking into Fear's lantern possibly. I mean, again, all this is just guesses and predictions. This could all be completely wrong. But I did want to highlight that because that is something I saw no one else notice. I don't know. There's a part coming up here that I really want to stop and look at, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the speed of 0.5, and I will just mute this for now. That way it doesn't destroy your ears. There's a lot of different interpretations on this part that is coming up. I will give you mine, and I'll talk about the ones I've seen on Twitter. Again, it's just, it makes so much sense with everything I've seen up to this point of what I'm seeing, okay? So let's dive into this part here, and I want to see what you think. All right. So I've gotten two different ideas of what this is, but I will start with what people think this is. Okay? So let's get to a good part here where we can stop it. Okay. A lot of people think this is the scare zone from Horror Nights 30 Years, 30 Fears scare zone. And this is a scare actor wearing a pumpkin costume that was seen in that zone. That is what people think that this image, this set of images possibly is. Here's what I think it is. And this may be a reach, possibly. I think this is 2 separate or 3 separate pairs of images from either a previous video posted or an announcement video. It makes sense with my icon theory if this is clips or still images of clips of Jack the Clown and of Chance. Now hear me out. Let's take a look at this one here, and I will make me disappear for 2 seconds here. Alright, so let's take a look. Does this not look like Jack's hair? Just tell me right here. Does this not look like Jack's hair? Which means he could be facing this way here. This could be his face right here. And this portion here could be his arm into his hand. Let's keep going through, and I will keep telling you if I see it. Okay. Here's where I'm like, am I confused? Because now this doesn't look so much like Jack. This feels yellow. This whole section here is yellow, and we have a, looks like maybe face, like you're laying down either on a street, on a surgical table, and someone is peering over you. And this, to me, I mean, looks like Chance, right? We have her little pigtails here with her blonde yellow extensions that she had in 25, which would make sense if we are looking at 25 with the podcaster's shirt. This looks like her chest here. Maybe a choker here. Going down into a arm holding something. Now this section here, I've got a few ideas. I mean, it looks like maybe the top portion of a surgical table, maybe where the light resides on a surgical table. Maybe just based on this little part here, this looks maybe like a circular light. Or this looks like a big 3 is a big obvious one. But another one I have seen on Twitter, which I didn't even think about when we were doing the decoding, is the trellis from Horror Nights 30 and I believe 31 as well, that holds the Halloween Horror Nights sign at the entrance, and this is the bottom of it looking up like we're laying down on the streets of Universal. Again, I don't think this is a pumpkin head face. It just doesn't look like one to me. It looks like Chance. I mean, or Jack, you know, but this one, it seems like this one looks like Chance to me. Like, this looks a lot like Chance. I'm not seeing a pumpkin. Let's just keep going through. Look at this. You're telling me this fucking shit is a pumpkin, bro? This shit is a pumpkin, right? This is fucking Chance, bro. This is her white makeup, her smile, bro. Her nose, her eyes, bro. You're telling me this is a pumpkin? Nah. I'm sorry. And look, she's moving, bro. Look. You see this? She is moving. So that is another thing I wanted to talk about. She is moving here. She's getting closer with something in her hand. And she looks up across here at someone. Probably Jack, right? That's probably Jack. This is also something I wanted to look at. Could be just a blur of her moving. But this does not look like someone's trying to kiss you here. Doesn't that look like lips, nose, eye, like Chance is gonna try to kiss you? So that is a big portion of the video I wanted to touch on, but I do want to keep going through this, and I'm not going to say any of these decoding, this code breaking is right. Like I said, maybe it is a pumpkin. I just don't see it. We will find out whenever they do make an announcement based off of this video. She's just standing there. I don't see anything distinct in parts like these. There's going to be a few parts like these, and this is what people think is Vecna. I don't think so. I think she's just completely being possessed or in a trance by something. Look very close at this clip here that is on the Seeking. In the middle of it, that is a face. And when I click on it, I don't see the face. As far as I can tell, I do not see a face there. You see this here? This looks like a horn, right? What about this here? Does this not look like the same design from that blackened out clip we seen earlier that I said looks like the inside of Fear's lantern? It does, doesn't it? Also, here's also where I'm telling you, I see a million faces in this fucking static. Because tell me right now that doesn't look like a face. I knows. And it sits here for quite some time. And then it's gone. Alright, here's one I wanted to look at. Let's look at this one with our sound unmuted and in full speed. Keep an eye on your section over here. You see it? Tell me what the fuck that is. Okay, so we have a few different ideas here, me and my wife. First one was based off of the noise you're gonna hear It's a very high pitched. Sounds like man laugh, just very, very high pitched. And the only icon, just going with the icon theory, that we seen or heard with that kind of voice is the usher. The only thing that didn't make sense to me was how would it be the usher, Chance, and Jack? That's an odd pairing, right? An odd pairing of icons. Like, if you're gonna do 3 icons and make them Jack and Chance, make the other one Eddie, right? Not technically an icon, was supposed to be an icon, came in 30. Could this be Eddie? Is that possible? Or could this be Chance or Jack? But it's clearly somebody, right? And the more you look at it, it looks like every single fucking icon, bro. I have gone through this part so many times, slowed down, stopping every few seconds, every half a second. I have seen Chance, I have seen Jack, I have seen Usher, I have seen Eddie, I have seen every caretaker, I've seen everyone at this point, fucking director. I haven't seen storyteller, but I have seen almost every icon in this face because it is so hard to decipher it. Because you have these little pieces on the eyes here that look like Chance. You have what seems like a hat here that could be either caretaker or the usher. You have the voice that sounds like the usher. This also could be a big smile, a clown smile, you know? Could be Jack. But then you can look again, this kind of looks like the yellow pigtails that I was talking about. Could be Chance again. You see what I'm saying? This could be a blend of anyone. And now this looks like a smile, like, it's very hard to tell what this is, but there's an eye. Is this just Chance? Is this be Chance's hair up here? Like, it looks like every single fucking icon, bro. Or is this a completely new icon, right? We did think about that. Could this be a completely new icon? From what I've seen on Twitter, people think this is a scarecrow. Again, I don't think that's true. I think there's more to this video than just putting scarecrows and pumpkins in it. Is this Chance? It's either my big ones is it's either Chance or Usher. Because it looks like the person is like cocking their head and going closer to the camera, keep cocking it, and that is a signature move of what seems to be like Chance, right? Who knows? There's the laugh I was talking about. Could that be a man laugh or is that Chance's laugh? I don't know, bro. Let me know what you think down in the comments, because I have no clue. I won't play too much of it because it is very loud in your ears. I can clearly see it as the promo material they usually use at the end of announcements, and it's someone walking through a Horror Nights house. It's someone just walking through a Horror Nights house. That is all I gathered from that. That is just there to be there, you know? Here's this part. More people think this is more Vecna kind of stuff. Again, I don't think so. I mean, if it was really Vecna, she'd be floating. If we're being accurate to Stranger Things. I just think she's being taken over by some kind of entity. There is going to be a song that plays here at some point. Yep, here it comes. Let's do the song. That's it. Twitter. I went to Twitter, right, to see what everyone's saying about this video when I first saw it. And my wife showed me some screenshots that she found of some people on Twitter. And she said that someone on Twitter found that song. So let's go and find that song, right? The song is called Death's Workplace by Max Wilson. One thing I want to highlight on this is that this is a very small artist. Like, I went to this guy's Spotify. This song came out, it said like in 2008 or something like that, for a Halloween album. And he only has 18 monthly listeners on Spotify. So where the hell did Horror Nights find this? Remember that song, okay? right? Salmon song. But why? What's the reason? And that ends the video. We go through to the very end, and it just ends at 9:59. So that is the video that Halloween Horror Nights released last night. The kind of secret little video that we have decoded in our own way here. What it seems to me is like a Icon's announcement of something to do with Fear's Lantern, something to do with Jack and Chance, possibly Usher or Eddie, maybe. Again, this is all my own interpretation and my wife's interpretation of it. Could be completely wrong, could be what people are saying on Twitter is pumpkin or a scarecrow or whatever. You know, some people are saying Five Nights at Freddy's, so it just depends. But we will see whenever they announce it. Let me know down in the comments whether you got to these same conclusions that I did, or if you have your own interpretation of this video. I'd be happy to hear about it. And I will be checking Horror Nights' Twitter and things like that, their YouTube, to make sure no announcement comes out. If an announcement comes out, I will be reacting to that and seeing if we were right on those predictions. Besides that, if you like horror, whether that is in theme parks like this or in movies, TV, music, etc., make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified when we post on here. I post a lot of shorts about horror movies and TV, and I post a lot of long form content with Dead by Daylight videos and behind the screams and things like that, horror news. So if that's something you are interested in, make sure you subscribe down below. If you want more from me, I do have an Instagram linked down in the description below. I post horror content and photos of my wife and our adventures. So make sure you go and follow down there if you want to see all of that. But besides that, that is it for me for this video, and I will see you in the morgue.